Hi, second grade. Today we are working on lesson 9.9. This is day one of a 2-day open response question. You're going to need something to write on for the first part, then we're going to need our math journals for a math message, and then you're going to work on something from the printouts today. So let's get started. Make a ballpark estimate. Write it as a number model. So pause the video, find something to write on, and make a ballpark estimate for 48 plus 46 and 13 plus 59. And you don't have to solve them, you're just making an estimate. Okay, I'm going to share a couple possible solutions. So you might have said your estimate is 50 plus 50 equals 100 because 48 and 46 would both round to 50. They are closer to 50 than they are to 40. So 50 plus 50 is 100. You might have also said 48 is 50, but you might have taken 46 and said, well, that's pretty close to 45. It's not exactly, but it is close, and it's easier to add a number with a 5 in the ones place. So 50 plus 45 is 95. So when you're making estimates, you're looking for a number that's close, but easier to add so that you can do some mental math. All right, let's look at the next one. 13 plus 59. So you might have said 13 is pretty close to 15. And 59 is close to 60, and you'd get 75. And 15 and 60, I would argue, are easier numbers to add. They're close, and they're easier to add than 13 plus 59. So that's about 15 plus 60 is about 75. Or you could have said 13 can round down to 10, plus 60 equals 70. So you want to think about where in the world you might be needing to make estimates. Oftentimes I make estimates when I'm going shopping. I just start making estimates so that I can find a closer number that's easier to add, so I can do some mental math, so I can see if I have enough money to buy something. Okay, so this is the math message question for the day. It is on page 240 of your math journal. So if you don't have your math journal out, please take a minute and get it out and work on the question. It says, Jaden makes a ballpark estimate for the problem below. He uses the numbers that are close to the numbers in the problem, but easier to use. So we would say they're close, but easier. 48 plus 24. Jaden's estimate is 50 plus 25 equals 75. Explain Jaden's thinking to a partner. Make a different ballpark estimate for Jaden's problem. What close but easier numbers could you use? So take a minute and come up with another estimate that might work for Jaden's. Okay, so another estimate might be 50 plus 20 equals 70. And so if you remember, Jaden chose 50 plus 25. And so as I'm thinking about his work, I'm thinking he's saying 48 would round to 50. It's only 2 away. And 24 is pretty close to 25. It's only 1 away. And so those are easier numbers to add in my head. 50 plus 25 is 75. So as I went to make a different ballpark estimate, I thought, well, 48 I would still keep as 50. But if I was rounding 24 to the nearest tens place, it's either 20 or 30. And 24 is closer to 20. So I would say 50 plus 20 equals 70. And that's how I did my ballpark estimate. So for today's open response question, you're going to be estimating costs. The first part requires no pencil, so you can't write anything down, you can't use a calculator, you just have to use mental math and estimate it. So let's read the directions. So you'll start with these 2 papers, and you have to cut out the items that are for sale. And the question reads, what can you buy at Moran's Market for $100? You do not have a pencil or calculator to help you find the total cost of the items you want to buy. You have to choose at least 3 items. So at least 3 items. You have to spend as much of the $100 as you can. Cut out the items you plan to buy and glue them down. So on this page here, you're just gluing down the items you're buying. You have to buy at least 3. So you can buy more if you want, but you can't buy just 2 things. Okay? And you can't go over $100. All right? You can only spend $100, but you're trying to spend as much of it as you can. So you're trying to get as close to $100 as you can. But you're doing this just with estimating. So you want to make some ballpark estimates with your numbers as you add them. Okay? When you finish that, You're going to go on to the second page. The second page says, explain the thinking you did in your head to estimate your total cost. So on this page, all you did was glue pictures down. And here you have to explain, as you were working and thinking about what you wanted to choose, how did you know that you were close to 100? How did you know you weren't going over? What kind of mental math were you doing in your head, or estimating were you doing in your head? You want to explain that here, okay? After you do that, please post a picture of both of your pages of your work to Seesaw, and then save this for tomorrow's class. Tomorrow we're going to go back, we're going to review it, revise it, make any changes to make sure if someone else was looking at it, they'd be able to understand. And we'll also look at some sample answers. When you finish, complete the math boxes on page 241. Happy estimating!